reinforcer, or the marker signal, that you're going to use to tell the animal when it's done the right thing.
Get the cat to associate this noise with that food. We're also pairing clicking with petting. She enjoys just as much as the food. I'm sure not all cats do, but this one does, so we use it.
It's important in the beginning to use things the animal really likes, especially good food, for example. The next step, when you have a signal, is to shape a behavior, in this case, targeting.
Now we're going to get her to touch or target in this case, a magic wand. You don't need a magic wand to train a cat, but this one seems to enjoy it.
Now, in the first few lessons, the animal's going to be a little inattentive. That was true of some of the puppies that we started with from Gusto. That will improve with time.
First, we show it to her. She touches it. She hears the click, which by now means that she's going to be eating or being petted. Now, she's fairly consistent on touching it, so we're going to add a cue to it, a command to do it. Touch it. We're going to move it to different sides of the table. Touch it. So that she learns to come at some distance. Touch it. And then in order to increase her enthusiasm, we put it on an intermittent schedule of reinforcement, which means that she'll do it more than once. Touch it. To get a reward. Touch it. And this very often increases the intensity of the performance.
Varying the effort required to increase the intensity of the performance. Very important, and also adding a cue.
We're going to be able to direct her onto a platform. First we get her to, she's smelling over there, food I guess, get her to touch, sorry, okay, she did that right away, which I didn't expect.
Now Kathy can use one learned behavior, following the target stick, to train other behaviors, such as
We've got her going from one platform to another.
Jumping.
So we can get her to go up onto another platform, a somewhat higher platform, by using the same method. Look, we got off the table. And now we're running around. Here, Wendy.
There's a new cue.
One of the first things that we taught her, and that tapping twice, that's our conk cue.
Various behaviors can be combined into what's known as a behavior chain. Behaviors linked by cues.
Now the stick coming backwards has been our signal to sit, and eventually we'll be able to put a word on it. Now we've been using a couple of taps to get her up on any surface, and now you can see she's starting to sit. When we put it on an intermittent schedule of reinforcement, we can have her go from one stool to another and then sit with a reward every third, fourth, fifth time, whatever.
Now that the cat understands behavior chains, Catherine's going to use a target to develop quite a complex behavior. In this case, the target is a spot of light from a flashlight on the floor.
What we've been experimenting with is light. And we know that cats like to chase things, so we have had her associate the light beam with food, and we're able to lead her around with that. And we've associated a click in here, which is going to come a little bit later. She takes our word for it. Wherever the light is, she assumes that there's food there. And we're able to direct her around with that. The second part of this is to have her follow the light and accept the food a little bit later. So that we can direct her path around to that. Now we're going to get her to go through the closed tunnel for the first time. And we were having a little bit of trouble with that. Now what we've done now is to fold the tunnel back a little bit so that she can see out. And we're going to give her some rewards for that. And what I plan to do is put this on a schedule of intermittent reinforcement to increase the intensity of the response. And then what we're going to do is suddenly pull it flat, and hopefully she goes through it very quickly without thinking a lot about it. What we're going to do now is to get her to open the door. So we're going to start rewarding any kind of foot movement in the door area. We want her to go through the tunnel, which she already knows how to do, but open the door first. We're using the light to direct her. Let me close that door a little bit again. We want her to do it with her feet. So we're rewarding her for any kind of foot movement towards that end. And I'm bringing her in a clockwise direction around the tunnel because that's the easiest direction to open that door. Well, we got it.
Now you can see how Catherine uses the click instead of the treats to communicate to the cat. And maybe you can see how you would be able to train a cat to do these things yourself. But Catherine took it a few steps further. Watch what she does with a really long behavior chain.